Good morning, guys. My name is Christy Angel. I am a Light Elegance educator, and today I'm super excited because I will be showing you guys a few nail art ideas that you can do with the new P Plus jellies. And these are just a little bit out of the norm, like something that maybe your clients wouldn't usually get. So I think it's a little bit more fun. So I'm super excited to show you guys that. And in combination with a cat eye, maybe some 3D if you want to add it in there. I want to show you guys how well and how much you can elevate your nail art. So without further ado, let's get started. So these are the ideas I had for today. I wanted to go super cutesy and Y2K with this hot pink jelly base with our, of course, fuchsia jelly. And then I did go ahead and go on top of that with Ice Kitty. And then I added these, I always say the wrong thing. I think I see tiger, but these are zebra stripes. But I wanted to go ahead and just add a little cute zebra stripe with our primary black gel paint. And that's just what I came up with for this little almond nail. And then this is actually something I've done in the past that I have a quick tutorial on my Instagram at Astro Angel Nails. But this is a combination of ocean jelly and, of course, emerald jelly. And I also went ahead and used our non-wipe P Plus to create a blooming effect, which I'll go ahead and show you guys soon. And then for the blooming colors, I just went ahead and used black tie P Plus and Please Be Seated. So those are just the colors I have laid out, so that way you guys have an idea of what we'll be using today. And I think I'll start with the hot pink, since that's what I showed you guys first. And I love these P Plus jellies because, of course, there's a no streak formula. They're super easy to apply. And of course, there's no harsh smell. So we're just gonna go ahead, start by swatching. I like to go and push it by the cuticle. On this press on, imagine a cuticle, and then just swipe down. And then just for the sake of time, I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the base for our, I don't know, a lot of people told me this kind of looked like a frog nail, a combination of a tortoiseshell nail, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to go ahead and go in with ocean jelly and just do a quick swipe. What's nice about this formulation too is because it's so jelly and sheer, you can really build up how much you want the color to show up. So with even just one coat, you can still see that color pretty well. And I'm just putting that in my Gen 4 for a 60-second cure. And then I do want this hot pink fuchsia jelly to be very bright. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a second coat. And doing the same thing, just pushing up by the cuticle and swiping down. And then I'll just, actually, I'm seeing a spot that I missed. That's why it's always good to go ahead and rotate the nail from sidewall to sidewall. I say nail, but this is, of course, a press-on. Now I'll go ahead and put that one in as well for a 60-second cure. And then depending on the color combination you want to do for this blue torty frog nail, I did the first time do 2 coats of ocean jelly, but I do want to see what it would look like just with the green on top of it instead. That's what's fun with these. You can always just do so many different formulations and create such different fun ideas. Oh, did you guys see that? I missed the bottle for a second. But I think these are going to be super fun for spring. It's going to be such a blast to be able to offer these. I mean, ever since these came out, my clients have absolutely loved them. They love that now it's in a HEMA-free, of course, Light Elegance formula, and you can't offer that with other brands. So it's really nice to be able to offer this to our clients. I absolutely love this color also. Like, that is such a pretty hot pink jelly. And going in with Ice Kitty, this is what I do to be able to create that cat eye ombre French. You don't have to put the cat eye entirely on top of the whole nail, because why would you want to have product where you don't really need it? So I kind of just start where the French and the ombre would be, and I swipe down. And again, depending on how opaque and bright you want your cat eye to be, you can do one coat and then, do the effect of the magnet and then cure it. And then if you want it to be brighter, you could do it brighter. But honestly, with these cat eyes, you really don't need to do any of that. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with this like ombre brush. I actually got this from Gemini Cosmetics. And I flipped the nail upside down to make it easier for me. Instead of going up, I'm going to just paint down. And I like to just blend it a little bit. The magnet also blends it when you go ahead and move it around the cat eye polish. But using a little brush to blend it will make it look even more seamless. And then I'm just going to go ahead and grab this magnet that, of course, I did kind of steal from Ashley, but she kind of gave to me. And we're going to go ahead and go around the free edge and push the cat eye effect where you want it. I really want it to be prominent in that right there, in that French ombre area, and really bring it to light. And you can just move it around the side walls. These cat eyes are also super easy to move. So you can see it's just moving wherever I move that magnet. And I think I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and cure that for 60 seconds. Another tip with the cat eyes, like I said, the magnet moves it pretty quickly, but you will see if you don't cure this immediately in the Gen 4 or in the flash dot, your cat eye effect will start to move. So I recommend, if you guys do own the Light Elegance flash dot, I love using this for nail art because by the time you're moving into the Gen 4, you could lose the exact effect that you created. So you can just go ahead, have your Light Elegance flash dot right here, and boom, cure it. Me too. I love the flash dot, honestly. It's such a great light. Like, it's so strong, you would think, because it's a smaller light. But no, it's strong. It cures exactly where you want it to be. I'm gonna go ahead and let that finish curing for a full 60 seconds because I did pull that out early. And then now I have the combination of the ocean jelly and the emerald jelly. And I think that's so pretty. So I'm gonna keep it. But if you want to make it even more fun, I love adding different colors. But like on this one, I went ahead and I did a quick swipe of amber Jimmy Gel. But I want to try it with the lemon lime jelly. I think this would be so fun and cute. And it adds like a lot more brightness. The amber jelly is obviously, it's orange. This one is super bright. So I want it to kind of just look abstract. I just swipe around. And then the lemon lime jelly isn't going to add too much, but it's just going to add a little bit. Because of course we're going on top of this like tealish color. I think different kinds of nail art, it's all about layering. Thin layers, of course, but it's all about different layers. And then I'll cure that for 60 seconds. So this is what our hot pink cat eye base is looking. I think that's so pretty. And for nail art purposes, I love to go ahead with the primary black gel paint. Gel paint is going to have a thicker viscosity, so your nail art isn't going to move as quickly as the buttercreams. Unless you move fast, totally go ahead, use the buttercream. Whatever works easier for you. That's what I recommend doing. You don't have to do it exactly like the way someone else does it. That's why it's so fun to watch all the different educators teach different tips and tricks, because you can do a combination of those tips and tricks. So I'm actually going to go in with my shorty brush and make sure there's no product on here with a non-wipe, a cleansing wipe, non-wipe, a cleansing wipe. And I'm going to grab a little bit of product, my primary black gel paint. And this is kind of how I create my zebra aesthetics. I'm also going to grab a palette. This is also from Gemini Cosmetics, but I'm loading up my brush so I don't have too much of an excess of product. And shorty is a little bit thicker and stubbier. So if this brush doesn't work that well for you, you can use stripey. I just kind of wanted to show a Light Elegance brush, but stripey would be a little bit better if you're using for thinner lines. But it doesn't have to be exactly, I don't know, it doesn't have to look exactly the same every time. Just a small thin brush that you can use to create those effects. And I'll go from the edge and push out. Let me get a little closer.
And then Christy, we have a question on if the gel paints have a sticky layer once they're cured.
They are a non-wipe, so they are not sticky. That is a good question. You can also use the primary black gel paints to apply chrome, isolated chrome effects. That's also what I use it for. And now I'm just trying to decide where to place these little lines. That's what's nice about the primary black gel paint and the gel paints in general, right? Like you can take your time with kind of placing the lines. Sometimes I overthink, what would you say, like abstract or patterns, just because this is an animal print, right? Like it's kind of hard to recreate something that is a real thing and it has an exact pattern, but that's what's nice about practice and using different products and tips and tricks. Like that line right there, I don't like that line. So I'm going to take that line away. And I'm actually going to use this ombre brush just because I have it out. And I'm going to go ahead and just wipe it away. You don't have to get stuck in the process of making your nail art perfect in the beginning. I think I would say also beginner nail techs, I think I did that a lot. I was just trying to do it perfect and well and fast, and I didn't really like doing the nail art anymore. So I think as long as you take your time, don't pressure yourself, work in steps that work for you. Like right now, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to cure this because I don't want to add any more lines that I have to take away, like I just did. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to cure that for, it can be cured for 30, but we're going to cure it for a full 60. And this is what the color combination is looking like. So I think that's super fun and cute. And for my blooming gel, we're going to use the non-wipe P Plus top coat. If we were working with the buttercreams, because those are hard gels, you would use super shiny. But for the sake of using the P Plus, we're going to be using, of course, the P Plus top coat. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a thin layer of this. A good trick with P Plus top coat is you don't want to do too thick of a layer and you don't want to do too thin. Too thin, you're not going to get that blooming effect. Too thick is just going to add too much gel polish and layering, and we rather have a thin nail than a thick nail, right? So especially when you're adding so much nail art in different layers. And then I'm going to go ahead on my palette and grab a little bit of Black Tie P+. You really don't need that much. You just need a little bit because this is just one nail. But of course, if you're doing 10 sets of these, 10 fingers, you're going to add a lot more gel polish to your palette. And you can really do this nail art design in any color combo. Like you could even do it with the pink, maybe add like the purple jelly on top. Like you could do that and create a different fun effect. I'm even thinking how to make it even more fun. Like you really can do whatever. And now with Shorty, I'm gonna go ahead and place the brown polish first. Please be seated. And every time I do this, I kind of just wing it. I'm just going to different spots. The inspo pics that I used when I first saw this design, I still think it looks different than that inspo pic. But of course you're not, I mean, unless you're trying to recreate that design exactly, I don't know. I love that it comes out a little different. I grabbed a little bit more polish because I needed more. But I'm just going to randomly place, please be seated. And I want the brown to take up more space than the black, right? We're going for like that tortoiseshell effect where you have the brown underneath the black. So that's what I'm going for on this nail as well. And then I'm going to add smaller circles. I guess you could say blobs. Blobs doesn't sound professional, but that's what I'm thinking when I'm painting.
We'll add blobs to the Christyisms.
Yeah, right. I'm like, this is art, blobbing. But I think the nail artists, they get me, they understand. And if you could see, there's like little bubbles popping up. What I do is I just go over my brush and kind of go over them to make sure I don't have those bubbles. And then the longer you let this sit, of course, the longer it's going to bloom. And I love that. So I'm going to let it sit there for a little bit while I wipe off my brown color, wipe off the rest of it in my cleansing wipe. And now we'll go ahead and go in with black tie. And I want the brown to be more prominent, right? So I'm not going to grab too much black tie. I'm really just going to do, I guess, smaller blobs into the brown blobs. And this is based on preference, of course. If you want to see more black, place more black. If you want to place more brown, place more brown. But I think I like the brown. I don't know. I like the brown against the colors more than the black. The black is just a little bit of the cherry on top, the accent, the torty to our shell, if you will.
I love that.
Right? I was like, why have I not thought of that before? Okay. Kind of like that. And I'll flip the nail over. I don't know if it's just because I'm so used to flipping the nail over just for doing hard gel overlays and my super shiny application, but I feel like this just makes it feel right. I'm like, the gel will bloom where it needs to be. And then that way we're not having the gel spilling all over the sidewalls as well. And I think this is just so fun and different and cute. And it's like an elevated tortoiseshell look, something that you can offer the girls that want something different. So
That's definitely one of my favorite designs that you've done. I always look at that and I just think it looks so cool.
right? I'm like, I love that. Sometimes we just have to get out of our comfort zone to really create something different and that we love. Okay, going back in. Again, I'm just going from the sidewalls and pushing out. And then I'll kind of add lines in between the lines I created from the side to really fill in that space. I'm gonna add a line right there. And you can also keep this design towards the French or towards the bottom. I did that at first, but then I really liked the way it looked when the design was like all the way to the top of the nail. I just think it's super cute and Y2K and I don't know, something fun. And you know, everyone has a different vision. So that's what's fun about creating ideas with our clients is we really get to collab and make it fun. It doesn't have to be super stressful. You can pivot and adjust if something isn't working for you. And I like to really just look at the nail from all views because I want it to look cohesive. I don't want it to look silly in some spots. Okay, I'm liking that. I think that's adorable. And put that in for a 60-second cure. And then this one is all cured. And so you could just finish this nail, top coat it, and be done, and it would be cute. But another thing that I did that I really liked that elevated this nail piece even more is I went ahead and went in with flat matte in the P Plus formulation. And I wanted to go ahead and create a 3D design using One Step on top of this nail design, but matte. And I just thought the differences in finishes against each other would be so pretty. And it really was. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I did that today, because it would not be a power hour without me doing a 3D design. That's just me.
That is very true. It's definitely not a Christy Power Hour without 3D.
I was like thinking earlier, I was like, should I try to just keep it out? And I'm like, well, no, I don't care. I was like, this is me. So fun. And I love that. So then you can go ahead and top coat with the non-wipe. And what's great about the non-wipe is that you don't have to cleanse it after, you're just done. I hope I see people recreate these in like different animal prints. I think it'd be so fun also to do like the purple jelly or I don't know, even like the blue jelly and do Stormy Kitty with a cheetah print. Like, I think that would be so fun too. There's so many combinations you can do.
Now I want to go do exactly that. That sounds
Right.
really cute. It's very Y2K, but I like it.
It's so cutesy. I'm like, I don't know. I was having a hard time between cheetah or zebra, but it's, I can always do that in the future too. And then we're going to go ahead and go in with our LE cleanser, cleansing wipe. And you're just going to go ahead and cleanse this until you see the complete matte finish. And I like to make sure I'm getting all sides, all edges of this matte nail. And this is the finish on that. She's so pretty and different. And now I'll show you guys how to do the 3D with One Step. One Step is what I use every time for clear 3D designs on top of a nail because it's One Step, so it is a hard gel with a top coat also built in. So you just cleanse it and you don't have to top coat One Step. So that's why I love using it for 3D designs on top of the nail because I can just cleanse it because there would be no point of doing like a 3D design and then going in with super shiny, top coating it and losing that 3D because super shiny is a hard gel and you would just lose the design. So that's why it's nice to use One Step. But I'm just going to go ahead and use, this is not a special brush. It is really just a brush I got on Amazon for, I don't know, maybe $5. So this is nothing special, but this is just what I use for doing the One Step. But I go ahead and grab this. And of course, my 3D designs, I would not be able to do without my flash dot, honestly. it would be quite impossible to get the design to be exactly where I need it to be. So I'm going to move this one step to the side and try to be in.
Sorry, just for my own curiosity, do you like to use that one for your 3D because it's so fat?
Yeah,
liner?
I think so. Because I can like load it up towards the end, and then I don't know how to describe that. Load it up like that.
Yeah, I always watch you from my desk, and I just always wonder if that's how you pick up so much at one time is because your brush is a little bit thicker.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I probably could find this quality of a brush and design in like a Cocoist or I don't know, you know, but yeah, it's just this little cheapy brush I got on Amazon. And sometimes that's what works for us guys. It's so funny.
Well, and sometimes we do designs where we know they're going to get kind of destroyed, so then you don't want to buy a super high quality brush for something that you're going to ruin.
Right, exactly. But that's what I would say is the like tip would be to find a brush you're able to really grab a bead, but not too big, right? Like I'm grabbing enough. There's been times where I've done 3D where like this would be entirely way too much, right? Like that you think, "Oh, I'm going 3D. I need to do bigger is more and more product." No, that is way too much. Like I would take that off and I would say this is too little. That isn't going to give me anything, right? So somewhere in the middle, and you'll find that the more you'll do 3D, right? And of course, if your 3D design is more, like if you want it to be higher and thicker, of course, grab more gel. But this, we're going for like sleek, cute, 3D, but not too textured. If you need to turn on your light too before you do the design, you can do that. I'm going to go for like this, I don't know, swooping effect. I don't know. It gives yin yang. I don't know what the words I think when I'm doing nail art. You guys probably have the same weird verbiages, but I'm just moving my brush, honestly, at that point. But yeah, I find that having the flash stock on, having the right amount of product on your brush, and then just going ahead and feeling it and going. If you want to add more, I want to kind of add, I'm scared. Hold on. Let me think about this. I think I have too much gel, so I took some off because I want to put some on the outside. So I'm just gonna boop. You see how careful? Swift, fast. Very fast with 3D as well. Because also one step is a thinner, say for soft pink extreme, that's gonna be a lot thicker moving and slower moving. But with one step, it's pretty quick. It's nice, right? For hard gel overlays, you get to complete a service really quickly, but when you're doing 3D, it's a little bit more of a hassle, but still doable. And I've definitely, well, I've been a Light Elegance educator for a year now, but I've been using Light Elegance products well before that. And I have done so many different methods and tips and tricks and brushes and just to be able to create this design and to be able to do 3D with Light Elegance, right? That's what's great about the brand is being able to offer the HEMA-free hypoallergenic for 3D because a lot of those 3D products have really harsh chemicals in them and actually they have more harsh and bad chemicals in them than just the regular gel polishes. So I went on my little rant there, but I'll go ahead and let that finish curing because that will need a 60-second cure. And this is our zebra nail Y2K. I think it's like a Y2K. I don't know. It's just really cute, poppy, different. And I'll go ahead and go in with my LE cleanser and my LE cleansing wipe. And you're going to go ahead and go in until you listen. Oh, wait, guys. Oh my gosh. I use non-wipe. I apologize. I was on go. I always use super shiny, but you can tell that didn't squeak because it is non-wipe. Oh my gosh. That is so funny. I'm so used to using super shiny, but no.
I do that too all the time.
All the time. That is hilarious. Okay, well, that was nice because it's all done. And look at how shiny it is without even, wow, I'm amazed. And then one step, you will have to go ahead and cleanse that and listen for the
Then
scoop.
we have a question if you can put gold chrome over One Step 3D.
Okay, that is a good question. I don't think I've ever tried it, like fresh out of the light. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to go ahead and try that actually and get back to you guys, because that would actually be really helpful to be able to just go in with gold chrome immediately. And these are the two designs. Okay, I did try top gloss when we did have top gloss over One Step. I did do that in the past, but I have not tried going immediately in with gold chrome on top of One Step. So I'm actually excited to try that and see if it works. I'm not sure if it would, but I mean, it's worth a shot to be able to try it, right? So I'm like, that's a good question. Perfect. Okay. Do you want me, should I do another design or should I flip the camera? I'm like, what's our timing?
I mean, you're at 11:34 right now, so it's
Oh,
totally up to you. We can do another one if you want to squeeze another design in.
okay, cool. Yeah, I did have another swatch just because I was like, I think it'd be fun to do another design if I had the time. So I will show you guys. I don't have it swatched out in front of me, but I want to go ahead and do like a bubble design. I think those designs kind of go viral every year around the spring. I don't know why. I think it's just really cute and different, but I see bubbles. So I'm just going to show you guys how I do that on ocean jelly. And I think that'd be super cute. And I'll use ocean jelly with the primary white gel paint and also the Just White ButterCream to be able to create those bubble effects. So I'm gonna let that cure for 60 seconds. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just get my Just White ButterCream. I like to use the buttercream for the shadowing, and that's gonna really what we're gonna use to make the bubble look like a bubble rather than just a circle with a line. And then the primary white gel paint, we'll use this for the actual drawing of the bubbles. So that way they're nice and but also so it's easy just for us to draw them because of course the gel paints, like I said, those are going to be better for your nail art because they won't move and it'll be a lot easier for you to actually draw your picture and what you're trying to achieve. Love the gel paints. And I'm just getting all that product of the black off my brush. I'm gonna go ahead and put some white gel paint on here. And I don't know if I'll do 2 or 3 coats of ocean jelly, just depending on how opaque I want the blue to be. I might do 3 just for fun. Just so we can really show the color off and so it can have a good base for some bubbles. There that again. And then you guys can see how quick that application is. That's something I really love about the P Plus formulation on the jellies, because I have worked with different jellies in the past where they are actually harder for you to use and harder for you to swatch because of the formulation. So I really like that these are just quick and easy and no struggle. It makes our job easy as techs, which is great. And then get some Just White ButterCream out as well. The bubbles also kind of remind me of SpongeBob. I see that design go viral a lot too. So if someone ever asked you for the SpongeBob bubbles and with the flowers as well, I think that's really cute. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do just one last. This is the 3rd coat. That's so pretty. I love the ocean jelly. And yep, I'll just be waiting for that. I'm trying to think of any other tips and tricks I have for the jellies as well. I'm not sure. But They're just super fun. They're fun for spring. I'm super excited to use them. Also for Valentine's Day, guys, like the hot pink. And also, I'm sorry, I keep saying hot pink for the fuchsia jelly, but this is fuchsia and this is hot pink. But these are gonna be
Both
so
hot
fun
pink.
right? I know, right? I'm like, I'm getting confused. But this is definitely hot pink. But this is hot pink.
Those pinks are the only reason that I'm actually looking forward to Valentine's Day nails for the first time in my entire career.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I love that. Okay, so guys, now we're gonna go ahead and paint our little bubbles. And like I said, I'm gonna be using the white gel paint for the actual like circle in the bubbles. I sounded like the guy from Finding Nemo, where he's like bubbles.
My bubbles.
Yeah. And what's cool about bubbles is they're bubbles, right? They're translucent. You can't really see them, but you can see them. So if you want to make it look more sheer on some parts of the line work, you can. And that just adds to your look and the level of your nail art. And of course, I will go in with Just White and kind of add like those little detail line works. But I'm gonna add big bubbles first. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add little bubbles around the big bubbles. So it looks like it makes sense, you know?
We
You
have
have
a
to,
question about using the jellies or shears that people have mentioned. You can still see a number on the underside of the tip. Do you have any suggestions to take care of that? I'm assuming they're talking about full coverage
oh,
tips. I like the bump
yeah.
tips
Or, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, what I do is, I guess if they're really trying to maintain the length and not cut off that little number, then you're just gonna have to cover that with some type of nail art or something, you know? That's what I do. And I let my clients know that. I'm like, okay, but this is going to show unless we, for one, shorten the nail and just cut off the little number, or we can just go ahead and cover it with some nail art if they're doing nail art. If they're just doing the jellies, though, you're just gonna have to tell them, hey, do you want to see that, or do you want to shorten it a little bit? That's where just being translucent, transparent with your clients really comes in handy because they value that honesty. They're not trying to, they just want to know how to achieve the look, and we know how to achieve the look. So that's what I would recommend. I just made some press-ons with the jellies with like for a photo shoot, and I did sushi press-ons. So what I did is I can actually show you guys. So what I did is I covered the base of the nails, like the numbers with nail art. But for this nail, I was like, can anyone really see that? Can anyone really see the number 3? I don't know, I don't know if that's really. Oh, thank you, Autumn. That's so sweet. And I did add our Pretty Kitty top coat on top to kind of cover it. But on the other nails, I kind of made an effort to cover those numbers. But on some of them, like you see these two, I don't think you can really see it. That's up to preference, that's up to the person. And you could just let them know, hey, these are your options and what would you like to do? That's a really good question though. I think it's really just up to preference and some people care, some people don't. Some people care more about length rather than the number peeking through. So that's a really good question, though. That's really great for actual real work and clients every day, because that's something that somebody will bring up for sure. Okay, and now I'm gonna go in with Just White, and I'm kind of just gonna go in and create those little, I don't know, those glare effects, but not really. It's just like those little double lines you see on nail art. I'm not sure how to describe what I'm doing, but you guys see it. You guys see it.
like a highlight.
A highlight. Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
She gets me. And it is going to be a little bit harder on these little smaller ones, but you don't really have to add too much to those ones. And I'm going to go ahead and. That one was kind of incompleted, so I needed to complete that circle right there. I wish I had a reference picture out because it'd be a lot easier for me to achieve the look. But I'm just kind of going based off what my brain has seen when people have done like bubble nails. Oh, you know what would be cute too? I think to make it look even more bubbly, I'm gonna add another layer of ocean jelly on top,
Ooh, that's gonna be cute.
right? Okay, put that one in there. I think all the nails I see that have done like the aquarium nails, or they do, I've seen really cute like ducky, like the little, I don't know, the little bathtub ducks. People have done
Rubber
like little,
duckies.
yeah, the rubber, why can't I speak today? Yeah, those little ducks, the rubber duckies, and I see those, and those are always on the blue or the purple jelly designs, and I think they're so cute. Oh my gosh, thank you, Jackie. That is so sweet. I wish my circles were perfect. I wish. That's me watching Ashley paint. I'm like, how does she do that? But we really get there. Circles are so hard though. Shapes in general, I think, are kind of tricky. But I appreciate that. Okay. And I'm super excited to see what this looks like with the blue on top. This will be super fun for the summer too, when people go to the beach and go on vacations. And they do, I see a lot of people do those like beach nails or the, I don't know, they just kind of do those little like vacation nails that I think have all those ocean designs. This will be so fun to offer on top of that. Oh my gosh, guys, that really completed it for me. That looks literally like bubbles. How fun. Oh my gosh. Okay, cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and close all of my bottles so I don't stress about this later. And then of course we'll just finish top coating that nail with the non-white Key Plus top coat. And then I'll be all done and I can show you guys all the swatches all next to each other. I love these nail designs. They're so fun. Honestly, spring is probably, I don't know, I think spring is probably my favorite time for nail art other than Halloween. Halloween is my favorite, but spring is really fun. I love that people come in with so many different nail ideas. It's the best.
I love that that's the one area that I think normally I feel like I'm golden retriever energy and you're black cat energy, but I feel like when it comes to the seasons, you're very like golden retriever, spring, bright,
Mhm.
and then I like the darker season.
Yeah, it's so funny. Which you wouldn't think so. You wouldn't think that. But I think it's because I'm born in the spring, maybe, and you're born in the winter.
Very true.
Maybe that's why.
I love that. I'm obsessed with that.
I think this is so cute. I love all the jelly, like the bubbles and just the cutesy stuff. It's so fun. Perfect. And this time, I will not be wiping this. I will remember this is non-wipe. Just to show off the other swatches again. And then, like I said, I actually have a tutorial, and then of course this will be on YouTube. But if anyone ever wanted to see like the quick snippet version, it is on my Instagram on a reel at Astro Angel Nails. It's so fun. I also just love feeling the texture on 3D. A lot of people that like have sensory, they love the little sensory toys and stuff. They love getting 3D because it's just fun. Aw, thank you, Felicia. I appreciate that. I think they're so fun too. It's fun to offer different stuff and things and nail art designs you don't see usually all the time. You know, we usually get the same amount of designs, the same kind of designs every year. So it's cool to offer just fun stuff. I feel like these are very me in a nail art design. And I think that's why I was so excited for the jellies. Like these are very fun to me. My brain gets excited when I see very fun and bright colors. And then, of course, with combination with the cat eyes and the other Jimmy Jello jellies, you can really do so many things. So
Hi, I've got a question, Christy. So I've been using Light Elegance for the past 6 months. I'm still busy building my collection. And I was wondering, my preference is the hard gels, and I do love the buttercreams. That's the product I love the most. But then obviously I'm also doing the conversion course. And while doing that, I need to do the normal P plus as well. And I do love the P plus. And there's obviously certain colors in that's not in like a specific color. I'm just thinking now, counting corals sheep. You can't find that it's in the old gel colors. What is it? The gel colors, but it's not in buttercreams. Now, my question for you is actually twofold. First of all, how would one approach building your collection? Do you mix? I've got an OCD brain, so I like to keep certain things together. So for me, I'm currently having a little bit of a mix, more of the buttercreams. But how would you go about approaching if you need to start your collection? What would be the best thing to start stocking up? Do you start with what you like, or do you mix both because of the colors? And second of all, the other part of the question is, on your mother color board, would you mix? Would you just put buttercreams together and then, or do you put all your colors together, mix up? I normally color code mine, so put all the pinks together and so forth. Would you mix your P pluses with your buttercreams on there?
I guess that's really up to you, right? Because like you could have like your buttercreams on one section of your mother color board and then the P plus on the other. Because I do understand what you're saying, because there are some colors in buttercream that we don't have in P plus. But I think the best course of action, and this is kind of what Ashley's done in the salon, is as new collections have came out, she has gotten the P plus formulation as well. So we could kind of keep up with the P plus collections on top of the buttercreams. And then that way, say we do have a color in buttercream, but we don't have it in P plus, but there's going to be something kind of close to it, right? With the new collections coming out, especially if you get the fall and the winter, and then you get the spring and the summer. They come out with those buttercreams, but they also come out with those same colors in the P plus. So if you could get maybe, I don't know, maybe one time you get the buttercreams, but the next you get the P plus, so you could kind of keep up with it. That's kind of what we've tried to do. And then also like we've also like separately bought colors that we've seen of P plus colors that like we didn't have. In Tennessee, there was a few colors that I saw that I was like, oh my gosh, can we have these? Because I just really wanted them in the P plus formulation. And maybe we didn't have it in the buttercream, but it just depends on you. I think what for whatever works easiest for you. But I think buying the collections as they come out, because those colors they won't be exactly like other colors in the past, but they kind of keep come out with similar colors. It comes out more elevated. You'll kind of notice that as the collections come out, and I've kind of noticed in the past years, but that's what I would recommend. Try to keep up with the collections here and there. You can also use our codes. My code today is Christy0114. So I think you get, is it 20% off, Ashley? Or is it 15?
It's 20% off for the next week.
20% off for the next week. And then that way you get way more of a deal. And then, you can use our codes, any other educators' codes, but that way you're kind of keeping up with the collections and you're able to get the P plus and the buttercreams. But I definitely agree with you. I love the buttercreams. They're probably one of my favorite products as well. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I love doing power hours. I will be doing one every month for the next few months, so make sure to keep up with Light Elegance's Instagram and socials with their emails, and make sure to register for those power hours. Make sure to check out the other educators as well, but my personal socials are at Astro Angel Nails. That's on Instagram and TikTok, and also Pinterest if you're on there. And my code, of course, for today for the next week will be Christy0114. And then my code after that is just Christy15 for 15% off if it's not a power hour discount code. So I appreciate you guys so much for watching and tuning in, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. So thank you.